Hello everybody, I'm Ernest. Today we're in Comfort, Texas. Me and William are out riding on our beast of burdens. We got the Victory cross country and the Raider. And we're having a bunch of electrical problems already so far. My battery terminals are loose, and now William just found out that his single light and horn's not working. So we're electricians today, huh, William?
We are.
So we're in Comfort, William, and this is a monument erected to the Germans.
Hi everybody, I'm William.
Yeah, he's William, I'm Ernest. So
I didn't know this was here.
well, yeah, a lot of people don't really, it's not a very well-known monument, but this was erected for some Germans that were killed, and if you look it up on YouTube, they call it the Nueces massacre, right? Because what did it say, like 40 of them were killed, and then what doesn't really say that some of the survivors were executed by the...
Well, there were 68 men that were loyal to the Union.
Yeah.
During the Civil War.
Okay.
So this was Confederate country.
Yes.
And that's why they didn't like them.
Yeah.
So they started killing them.
But would that be called a massacre if this is a group of people that knowingly were going against their Confederate state that they lived in?
Well, it's a massacre, I'm assuming, because they were just shot and killed in mass.
They were overwhelmed, and not everybody died. A lot of people escaped. Some people went to Mexico. The deal was the Confederate was really hard to find troops. They were running out of troops, and they were looking for people. Well, these Germans were Union.
They were loyal to the Union.
Yeah, they were loyal to the Union. You have to remember, this is what, 1862? They probably had not even been in the United States that long. They had to swear an allegiance to the United States, and then they left Europe because they were in a nation where they didn't have a lot of rights and other things that were going on in Europe that caused this migration of Germans to the United States. And so they were loyal to the United States. So what I'm saying is, I wouldn't consider it a massacre. It was just a casualty of war. And they weren't actually Union troops, but they were going against their own government. So in those days, you were considered a traitor. And what happens to traitors and spies? They execute them right on the spot. But if you go on YouTube, you will find that a lot of people are saying that this was a massacre. Now here, there's some people, they buried some of the remaining bones that were found, I think, on the banks of the Rio Grande, because they first met them at Nueces, the Union troops, and they had their first battle. Then later on, they had another battle, I think, near Mexico, because these Germans were trying to join the Union, but I think toward the end, they were just trying to get to Mexico. Now,
it says here, trying to reach the federal troops by way of Mexico.
Yeah, they're going to go into Mexico, cut across, go around Texas or whatever they are. So that's what this, and this thing was erected, what, 1865?
1865, 66.
Yeah, is when this monument here was erected for the Germans. That and this area has a lot of German influences. There's a lot of German people. I myself am part German. And so there was a lot of sympathy for these Germans because they were fighting for what they thought was right. What is your take on that? Anything?
Never heard of this massacre. When I hear that it's a massacre, I hear about I assume
defenseless women and men and stuff like that.
Yeah, a situation where they were just killed in mass, and it wasn't really a fight.
Yeah.
They were trying to flee, and they wouldn't let them flee to join the Union, of course.
Well, yeah. Well, they were traitors. You know, if you look at it that way, if you look at Texas at that time was at war. with the United States. And like, if this same thing happened over, let's say, on the Union side, they would execute them too. You
Well,
know?
they would not execute them on at the Rio Grande. They would bring them in, put them in jail, have a trial, and then execute them.
Yeah. Well,
So
I don't remember. I can't. I think the ones that were executed might have been had a little, shade tree jury. I don't know for sure, but I
don't know
mean,
the circumstances around why.
yeah, there's a lot to it, and I'm no history major. I'm just talking when I found out about this thing, and then I started hearing one side of one video saying about these poor Germans and everything, but they weren't. They were armed,
Yep.
and they were trying to join the Union. Now, supposedly at the time, the Union said that they could flee, but they have to drop their arms and go without guns, and they could go into Mexico and nobody would have bothered them. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But I thought it was interesting facts of the German history here in Texas and what happened during the during the Civil War. And this is one remnants of it. Here in Comfort, Texas, you got plaques of some of the falling Germans that were buried, interned here. Anyway, thanks for coming, and I'll see you next time.